What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Vincoroor Fire of the Sky, or their version of a oversized knockoff of Siege Jetfire. As you guys know, I'm a huge Jetfire and Skyfire fan. I have lots of them in my collection, and when I heard they were making a bigger version of Siege, I had to get it. I do like that toy, but I actually ended up getting rid of it because I knew this guy was coming out, and I really wanted an MP version anyways. So I did pick this up. So let's put an image of that original version here so we can kind of show you the differences and compare right away out of the box. But number one is the finish. So this has pretty much a clean white finish, and hopefully it's showing up on camera. But there is a finish over here on the chest, on the nose cone, I think on the thighs. Over here there is some painted parts. It's not fully painted, but there is quite a bit of paint. The arms and the shoulders are painted. Up here is painted. But then as you get down to the forearms, I believe it's just white plastic. It's a very subtle difference. The gunmetal is paint, of course, down here and the back. The feet are painted. One difference there is the materials, which I'll bring in the other shattered glass Jetfire to take a look at that. But right away you can see the difference in the paint. They also got rid of the weathering on the thighs and the legs. I just think it looks much better. The weathering just looks kind of out of place. When you do weathering, you really should do it kind of a smattering all throughout the figure, not just in one spot. So it always looked a little off to me, so I'm glad they did away with that. I like the clean, just white and red look. As far as materials and mold changes, let's bring in the shattered glass version. And you can see how much bigger it really is. They really did oversize it. And it's meant to fit, right in scale with other Masterpiece figures. But number one is the feet. These are plastic. And these, I guess. Number two, they've improved and fixed the shoulders. So if you had the original, as you raise up and lower the arm, this panel would come out. So let me show you what they've done. And actually, I'll just show you on the original what happens. You can see that shoulder just likes to pop out. It's supposed to peg in at the back, but it just doesn't stay very securely. And it's always been an issue because that ratchet's pretty tight, and it just pops that joint out. So what they've done, and we'll just open up this chest piece here. There's a little tab right here on the inside of this chest piece. And once you bring this down, they also have the clip on the back. That's a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. So because of the clip on the back being a little bit bigger, and then this clip on the front, when you bring this down, it locks that clip in place. And now you can lift that arm, no problem, no worries about bumping that out. That's a very nice improvement. You also have ratcheted hips. So here's the original. I'll just show you. And I've tightened these screws heavily because they were loose out of the box, especially in the original one. It was very loose, but you can just see it just goes up and down. Now you can kiki that and tighten it, but on this one they put in soft ratchets. So the hip skirt actually has a soft ratchet in it too. There's two locking points, and then the leg has a locking point here and a locking point there. So he can hold his own leg even though it's got the die cast in the feet. So that was a smart move, especially if they were going to add weight to allow him to hold that. So that's another improvement. Coming to the back here, this is pretty much all the same. They haven't really changed anything. But I do notice the paint is very well done. Nice white and metallic gray. And I don't remember the gray, the gunmetal, being this brilliant. So I think they've improved the paint there. And they've added a feature. So on the original, you do have the head here. It does look nice. It is painted, but it doesn't have any light up feature. This one has a light up feature. So if you come to the back of the head, there's a button right here. It came pre-installed. At least mine came pre-installed with batteries. So I didn't have to do anything. In order to get the batteries in there, you have to take off this cover, remove a screw, take off another cover, remove another screw. It's actually quite a bit. It's quite involved. So I'm not going to show it to you, but you can take it apart and put batteries in if they didn't give you. But there are those eyes, and that looks great. It's really, really nicely done. Nice bright LEDs. It does still work with the mask on. So here's the battle mask, which is the same as the original. Of course, my version here is the shattered glass version, so I've got the black and green, but you can see it's basically the same design. Haven't changed it, but this will fit on top, and you can see it does still shine through the mask. So very, very nicely done. I really like that addition. All right, and there's Fire of the Sky, all armored up. Looks really good. It is basically the same as the original. The paint on the chest plate definitely looks really good. You got some white paint here. I do have a little bit of red on here. I haven't tried to remove it. I use a little trick. I use actually a eraser, like a school eraser, and that very easily removes, you know, paint scuff. So I've tried that before. I'm going to try that on this, see if that works. But I have a little bit of red extra there. But other than that, very, very nice. It looks really good. You still get the blast effects here. So if you want to use those, we get 3 different sizes. So you can kind of assemble them into one larger one and then put that in here, or you can have them separate and install those. Another thing that was an issue on the original was these like to fall off. Let's see if these will stay. That one doesn't actually fit, so, but all the other guns it seems to fit just fine. And for quick size comparisons, there it is next to MP57 Skyfire, Fans Toys Phoenix. I think this is the X version with the paint, and he really stands toe to toe with them. Looks really good. It fits the part. I don't know. I mean, I really think you could just put this in your MP collection. And since it's tradition here on this channel, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. Towers over him, of course, just like the same as Fans Toys Phoenix. Of course, scale eye in the beholder, but I do like that he's nice and big. But let's get him transformed into his jet mode. I'm going to do it in fast forward, since you've probably seen this transformation many times before, and then we'll take a look at him. Alright, and there he is in jet mode, and looks really good. One of the things I think they've improved is the fitment of these side pieces here. These like to pop out very easily. On this one, the side tab, the one that goes into the top here, definitely secures it a little bit better than the original, so they tend to not, you know, pop out as easily. One thing that's worse though is this right here. This likes to just pop down. I think it's because the spring underneath is a little bit too weak. So it has trouble holding it up. That's about the only thing I had issues with, was this cockpit, you know, pop-up cockpit. Didn't quite pop up the way it's supposed to, but other than that, I mean, it's really good. It looks really good, performs well. It does roll on the landing gear. Those do stay in place. You still get the same gimmicks. You can get the handles for Optimus or whoever. Hang on, it's very, very tight, but you can slide this down, and now here's a handle for them to hang on and fly along with Jetfire. Not a feature I'm ever going to use. You also get these handles right here, so some MP figures can hang on. Again, not a feature I'm going to use. You can open up this cockpit here. If you open up the nose cone, open up the cockpit. Alright, now that we have the little cockpit piece out of there, you can see plenty of room in there. You can actually put Spike from MP10 in there, and he fits. It's pretty big, so it fits just fine. Or if you prefer we can put the minifigures from MP57 Skyfire, or even the bigger Spike from Hound. You fit in there. You got to fold up his legs a little bit, but he does fit in there. Close this up, close that up, and now he can fly around in there, which is kind of cool. All right, there's Jetfire fully armed up. Everything works the same way as the original. Everything fits tightly. I don't know if I mentioned this. The plastic on these guns has a little bit of a metallic fleck in it. It is plastic, it's not painted, but it does look good overall. Not just black plastic, so that's nice. Right now we also get this flight sign here, nicely painted. And this can be used in two different ways. So first we can slide this onto here. And you come to the bottom of the jet mode. There's a slot there and a slot there. You can fit into these two tabs. Fits in very securely on here. And it's a very good looking jet. Good looking flight stand and everything. I really like how this is. You can also, if you want to, take this out, remove the adapter, come to the bottom here, you'll see there's 3 pegs on here, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and this will actually fit right here. You can see there's a little spot even for the landing gear. So if you line this up into here, I really think this is quite ingenious. You now have a cover for the bottom of jet mode, so it kind of completes the look, and also it gives a little bit of weight to him. I do recommend having the landing gear down because otherwise you can scrape the paint. I actually did scrape it a little bit by accident, but that's very cool. That's a nice addition, unexpected and nice addition to this guy. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime. Nice big jet mode here, works well for the Masterpiece scale. So final recommendations on the Vincoroor Fire of the Sky. And every time I say that I have to look at the box because I keep forgetting the name of it. But this is a really nice version of Siege Skyfire, or Jetfire. They did a great job upgrading all of the little issues. That was a great figure to begin with, but it had some flaws here and there, and they really just got rid of all that here, right? The chest pieces that pop out, that's now fixed. We've got nice new features with the light up eyes. We've die-cast feet, which have put some weight down low, so posing is a little bit easier, and he has better balance. Overall, the fitment and finish on most of the figure is better than the original. They even threw in this flight stand, which doubles as the bottom filler for the jet, which is really cool. It's a nice heavy piece of die-cast, so it's obviously good quality thing to include. And yeah, everything just works. It really, is kind of exceeded my expectations. But the only thing I would think is not quite improved is the hands. They just unplugged from this little peg down here. The original did that too. It was actually pretty bad. But other than that, I really don't have any issues. I did forget to mention during the review that it doesn't come with these faction symbols. I had to put those stickers on myself. It still has the same gimmick where you can flip the faction symbol around and you can have the Decepticon or the Autobots, but you do have to put those stickers on, and that's typical for a KO. They don't typically include the faction symbols, although the Reximus we just looked at did have it, but just keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely recommend it if you are a fan of Jetfire or Skyfire, or you don't have a Masterpiece version. This is definitely a good version. It fits perfectly with Masterpiece scale, and I just think it looks very interesting. If you do have the Masterpiece versions of either Fans Toys or MP57, then stay tuned for my comparison. I'll be doing a versus on these with the other two, so you can kind of follow along and decide what direction you want to go. For me personally, though, I want all three because I'm a Skyfire collector. But that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.